Like a confectioner hiding disgusting peanuts in delicious chocolate, certain otherwise fun games will sneak in a bit where you're briefly forced to play as a character much less cool and powerful than your proper player character. Too many games forget that we play them for the power fantasy. Therefore, we don't actually love it when they slip in a section where you suddenly become a rubbish character with none of the powers you previously had, forcing you to change your playstyle entirely. Is it too much to ask to be able to play as the character on the box? I don't think so. Consider these pathetically weak characters that we were forced to play as out of nowhere, and beware spoilers for the following games.
Reach him? That place is crawling with guards. How are you trying to reach him?
Very, very quietly. Gotta go, partner. Stand is just somewhere in there. Gotta get past that guard. Time to see if these lures Pete gave me work.
There are many reasons Mary Jane Watson is beloved among Spider-Man fans. Not only is she the sweetheart of Spidey, but she's brave, intelligent, and a great investigative journalist, often helping Peter Parker as he works to protect New York City.
So, creepy mask guys. What's your take?
Such is the case in Marvel's Spider-Man on PS4, in which, even when they're not a couple, MJ's investigations end up aligning with Pete's and bringing them together.
Hey, Pete.
Aww, so romantic. However, your enthusiasm for seeing MJ may be tempered somewhat when you are suddenly forced to step into her cute leather boots and play a bunch of snail-paced stealth sections without any Spidey powers.
Quiet.
I'm sorry, but if I can't web people, then what is the point? Suddenly, instead of getting to mess up baddies with Spidey's strength, gadgets, and acrobatics, you're stuck as a normal, unsuperpowered human who has to actively cower from them.
What the hell? Someone there?
All you can do is crouch walk around, trying to avoid making noise or getting spotted by people, like me trying to leave a house party the morning after and avoid helping with the cleanup. During one MJ mission in Grand Central Station, you do at least have Spider-Man as backup, and you can order him to web up Martin Lee's demon henchmen one by one, clearing a path for you.
Take him out.
But for the most part, you're just forced to play extended sessions where you shuffle along, stop and wait a few seconds, then shuffle along again. It's not until her final mission that Mary Jane has any means of defending herself.
I like this thing.
Fortunately, in Spider-Man 2, MJ keeps and gradually upgrades her taser and has clearly taken some self-defense lessons, so she can do more than develop a lifetime of lower back pain from constant crouching. Yet another reason to love MJ.
I'm telling you, Edie, your readings are off. It's radiation bleed, just white noise.
I have detected a signal embedded in the static. We are transmitting the Normandy's location.
Transmitting? To who?
In Mass Effect 2, there are lots of capable people on the Normandy, and among the most is Joker, the Normandy's cocky but likeable pilot.
I gotta hit the head, Commander. We done for now, or do I have to use the bottle I keep under here?
Oh, maybe I talked him up too much. The pilot seat is Joker's true comfort zone, so when he suddenly has to vacate it right near the end of the game, when collectors board the ship and Shepard's too far from the Normandy to save the day, Joker's about as excited as I am when I have to stop a Criminal Minds binge watch to put the bins out.
God damn it.
You're also out of your comfort zone, as this is no mere cutscene. You're suddenly in control of Joker, who isn't happy about the situation either. And I don't blame him. See, Joker lives with osteogenesis imperfecta, aka brittle bone disease. Not only do previous injuries slow him down, but he can't run at full pelt like anyone else, lest he risk breaking a bone. On top of all that, he's not even got a weapon on him, so you have to slowly guide a limping, defenseless Joker around the ship as you both watch his fellow crewmates get horribly killed and or collected. Man, I'd give anything to have an M27 scimitar and a Garrus with me right now. The Garrus is mainly for emotional support. There are so many squeaky bum moments as you guide Joker around, all the while wishing that you were Shepard with your usual 2 squad members. That way you could actually save your crew, rather than desperately trying not to be spotted on a staircase like a teenager coming home after curfew. Only here, if you get caught, you get liquefied in a space tube. Even my dad wasn't that strict.
Bayonetta 2 built on the sexy witch hair magic of the first Bayonetta by adding a small annoying child. This child is Loki, and while he does sometimes exist in adorable squirrel form, he's most often found in the shape of a young boy, whose accent is the greatest crime against the London accent since Dick Van Dyke.
These punters don't know when to quit. What do I ever do to them?
Narrowly beating Mrs. Lovett in the 2023 cast of Sweeney Todd on Broadway. Fellow musical theatre nerds, am I right?
No one knows what you're talking about.
Trust me, I'm right. While Loki is introduced with a cutscene of him capably fighting angels, it's clear he lacks the training and experience of Bayonetta, who ends up saving Loki's butt several times throughout the game. But at one point, while fighting her way around the Cathedral of Cascades, Bayonetta can do nothing to save Loki from danger, and you're suddenly yanked away from the cool Umbran witch and put in control of the far less capable Loki.
All the luck.
Cue a terrifying chase sequence where you can do nothing but run as a gargantuan urbane angel chases Loki up the spiralling ramp on the outside of the building. Instead of playing as a grown-ass witch with legs the length of the River Thames, you're stuck with the wannabe Cockney, whose stride is much shorter thanks to his stupid tiny child legs.
He's chasing us now!
He does have some powers he can use to give him some distance, but in the end, Loki only wins because the angel leaps to hit him, misses, and falls off the side of the building.
That was easy.
To be clear, no it f***ing wasn't. As if to prove Loki's weakness, when you switch back to Bayonetta immediately afterwards, she then fights 2 of these massive angels at the same time.
Is that all you've got?
Well, that's embarrassing. Nearly as embarrassing as that accent! Cool blimey!
In the old school Alone in the Dark games, you weren't short of a weapon or 2 with which to defend yourself. For example, in Alone in the Dark 2, when hero Edward Carnby returned to find kidnapped kiddo Grace Saunders, he could defend himself with a collection of guns. Heck, even if this one-man army ran out of ammo, you could still whack enemies with a battledore, an old kind of badminton racket. Wow, so capable. And then there's Grace. At multiple times during the game, Edward is incapacitated and you're put in control of the teeny tiny missing girl Grace in order to save him, because nothing says heroic rescue like a child in a onesie. Grace, being teeny tiny, has absolutely no means of defending herself, so all you can do while controlling her is stand in a corner and pray you're not seen. You might also want to pray that you're not heard because of Grace's extremely loud footsteps that definitely sound more like duck feet than human ones. How are they not hearing that? Must be the jaunty pirate band that is also playing extremely loudly. Properly hunt around and Grace does eventually, at specific points, acquire items to help her defend herself, such as a toy cannon she can shoot once, and literally once. Some ice she can put on the floor to make enemies slip and apparently evaporate. And some sticky molasses that she can ensnare her captors in like the biggest, sweetest ever fly trap. Is she just gonna leave that guy there? That's dark. Alone in the dark. But most of the time you're just running for your life, until eventually you manage to help free Edward, at which point you switch characters back and immediately have to save Grace, who was easily captured. Probably because of her extremely loud duck feet. Heel, ball, toe, Grace. Heel, ball, toe.
Does the name Hector Alcazar ring a bell with you? Yeah, he's the drug lord. Mm-hmm. butcher of Panama, right? Why?
It's a funny story, but last year he was my cellmate.
There are two kinds of Uncharted fans, those who prefer the gunfights and those who prefer the puzzles. If you're in the second group, you probably hate it when you're forced to play as Sam Drake. Nathan's big bro turns up out of nowhere in Uncharted 4 to make Nate join him on a hunt for lost treasure, because a big scary drug lord broke Sam out of jail to find it for him, or else be horribly maimed.
And when you least expect it, I will be there. At that point, death is not a mercy I will grant you.
That is something that could just be explained in a cutscene, but developer Naughty Dog, in their infinite wisdom, decided to make Sam's jailbreak an entire level. The first problem is Sam's jailbreak is 90% grueling gunfight in a dingy prison, with none of Uncharted's trademark tomb exploration. Secondly, the other 10% is just Sam passively following people around like a lost sheep with a receding hairline, relying on the criminals helping him escape in order to not immediately die.
Get back, son of a bitch!
Finally, and the biggest crime in a game where you spend your time primarily with likeable rogue Nathan Drake, Sam is boring. While Nate makes funny quips when something goes wrong, lightening the mood while not undermining the often literal gravity of the situation, Sam is just constantly shocked, flummoxed, and perplexed as you slowly realise that he is actually the escortee in someone else's escort mission.
Samuel, get behind something. What? Why? Just do it. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It later turns out that most of this story was actually made up by Sam in a clear case of unreliable narrator, which is not only annoying because he lied to his brother, but also because Sam could have easily made himself a lot more exciting to play as. Yo, Sam, if I were you, I would have juiced the story to make myself seem a bit cooler. Maybe put in a section where I help everyone escape by cleverly solving a puzzle like Nathan regularly does. Then we could have played that puzzle. Just a suggestion?
Don't worry, Sherry. It'll be all over soon.
There has to be a way out of here.
Back in the 90s, Resident Evil clearly saw Alone in the Dark's whole deal and said, hold my beer. That's not only on account of Resident Evil being a survival horror series even more influential than Alone in the Dark, but also because it managed to devise a child character even more useless than Grace Duckfeet Saunders. You were forced into the tiny blue shoes of Sherry Birkin in multiple sections of Claire Redfield's scenario in Resident Evil 2, where your only power was the power to fit through small holes.
Wait, Sherry, don't go alone! Sherry! Sherry!
For the 2019 remake, Capcom reduced Sherry's playable sections to just one, but upped the intensity by 1000%. Sort of like if you removed a handful of jalapenos from a recipe and instead put in one ghost pepper. With both Resident Evil 2 Remake and my signature Ghost Pepper Jambalaya, you're going to end up crying on the floor. Things initially are looking up in this single Sherry section when Sherry, stuck in the abandoned orphanage of Police Chief Brian Irons, is not totally helpless. After you lead her to the key to escape, and Chief Irons shows up to stop her in a cutscene, she gives him a face full of acid. Damn, Sherry! They teach you that in middle school? However, if you were hoping Sherry would do anything as exciting or useful once you're back in control of her, I'm sorry, but you're about to be very disappointed. All you can do from here on as Sherry is leg it and hide behind furniture, whimpering like the tiny child you are indeed playing as. All the while, you know that if you were in control of Claire, you could have just shot this unathletic human man. As the helpless Sherry, though, we're forced to play an entire section where a horrible man shouts at us in a dark room.
The longer it takes me to find you, the worse it's gonna be!
Unless you never find me, Irons, which is my preferred outcome, obviously. As if this isn't stressful enough, when you do finally get Irons' key, all you can do is run as fast as your stupid little child legs can carry you, only to find the front door chained from the outside too.
What? Won't open!
Nice try, Sherry.
So back you go into more horrible chase scenes where Iron bursts through doors like it's the damn Shining.
Come on in, Sherry!
In the end, the thing that saves Sherry isn't her pluck or courage or another flask of acid, it's Sherry's horrifically mutated father. To be honest, I never thought seeing a man mutated by the G virus would be a relief, but here we are.
I know this feels a bit strange, Father, but now you can see through her eyes and tell her where to go.
There are many benefits to being a big daddy in the BioShock series. Cool outfit, adorable co-workers, and you have a huge drill for a hand, so always ready to do a bit of DIY at a moment's notice. By DIY, I mean drilling intestines. Yourself. In BioShock 2, you get to play the entire game as a big daddy, so when your consciousness is suddenly body swapped into the head of a little sister, it's a bit of a power downgrade. Now, don't get us wrong, being a little sister has its perks. You can get around using the little sister vents, which I'm sure shaves loads of time off a commute. Plus, Rapture looks much nicer from their point of view. Not because of the height difference, but because their eyes see an idealistic Rapture that hasn't gotten all grotty yet. You know what, if Rapture actually looked like this, I'd risk the bathysphere journey for a weekend spa break. But you don't get to do anything interesting as a little sister. Instead of fighting or solving puzzles, you basically spend the whole time being expositioned at as you wander from place to place picking up things.
When you were with the little ones, they trusted you as their father, because of me.
And your frustration at the little sister's lack of drill arms will be at its most extreme upon entering the office of Sophia Lamb. Sophia Lamb is the big bad of the game, who has been doing weird Rapture experiments on Eleanor, her daughter, and the little sister you were assigned to as a big daddy. She also currently has your big daddy original body locked up and unable to move. Here she sits with her back turned to you, absolutely ripe for intestine drilling, but here you are stuck as a little sister with very little core strength and exactly 0 means to drill her intestines. So you're forced to just walk on by. Are we sure that little sisters aren't equipped with a Phillips head screwdriver at least? I can make it work.
Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Here we have 2 videos that are all delicious chocolate, no disgusting peanuts. That's the mic guarantee. Up here is a video from Outside Extra, and down here is a video from the channel where you can often see me, Outside Xbox. So enjoy both of those, and if you'd like to support what we do, why not head to patreon.com/oxclub and you can hang out in our fan Discord. See you there.
Snickers.
Snickers is disgusting, James. It's disgusting. And you know it. You all know it. No one likes peanuts in chocolate. No, you don't. You just think you do. You've been conditioned by society.